So today we're going to dive into a chapter from the Quran that millions of people recite every single week. It's called Surah Al-Kahf, or the chapter of the cave. And trust me, there's a very good reason it has such enduring power.
See, hidden inside its verses is this timeless guide for navigating some of the biggest, most universal challenges that we all face. So the real question is, what can this ancient story really teach us about our world, right here, right now?
Well, the chapter's actually built around four completely distinct, epic stories. Now, on the surface, they seem to have nothing to do with each other. You've got some youths hiding in a cave, a rich guy with his gardens, a prophet on a very strange journey, and this powerful king. But they are all connected by one single powerful theme: trials. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the four great trials that are laid out in the chapter: faith, wealth, knowledge, and power. And then we're going to see how it all comes together with this one unifying message that connects everything.
First up is the trial of faith. This is a big one. The story is about a group of young believers who were facing just immense pressure from a society that completely rejected what they stood for. It's really a story about how you stand firm when it feels like everything and everyone is against you.
So, facing persecution, they didn't lash out. They didn't give in to despair. Instead, they turned to God and made this incredibly powerful prayer you see right here. They asked for mercy and for guidance, basically putting all of their trust into a plan bigger than themselves.
So they fled the city and found refuge in, of all places, a cave. And this is where their prayer was answered, but in this miraculous way. God put them into a deep sleep that lasted for centuries. When they finally woke up, the whole world had changed, and their once persecuted faith was now the norm. It's such a powerful lesson, right? That having steadfast faith, even when you feel alone, can be your ultimate source of protection and salvation.
Okay, so from faith under pressure, we move to our next trial. And this one's a little different. It's the trial of wealth, which explores how having everything you want can be a test that's just as tough as having nothing.
So, we're introduced to this guy who has it all. I mean, 2 incredible gardens, a river, just immense wealth. But all that success, it totally went to his head. He started to believe that his prosperity was all because of him, his own hard work, forgetting where those blessings really came from.
And you can really see the clash of worldviews right here in this conversation. You've got the garden owner boasting about his wealth and his influence, but then his friend comes in with this vital dose of reality, a reminder that true power comes from God, and the right way to handle blessings isn't with arrogance, but with gratitude.
Well, the owner completely ignored the advice, and then, in a single night, a disaster strikes, and his amazing gardens are just gone, wiped out. He was left with absolutely nothing but regret. It's a stark reminder that wealth without gratitude can disappear in an instant, and true security is never really found in material things.
This brings us to our third challenge, and this one is maybe the most subtle of them all: the trial of knowledge. Here, we follow the prophet Moses, who, even with all his wisdom, is about to learn that there are layers of knowledge that are just way beyond our understanding.
So Moses is traveling with this wise servant of God, who some call Al-Khidr, and this guy starts doing things that seem completely crazy and unfair. First, he damages the boat of some poor fishermen. Then he takes the life of a young boy. And finally, he repairs a crumbling wall in a town where the people were totally hostile to them. And Moses, of course, can't help but object to every single thing.
And this part is just brilliant. After it's all done, the teacher finally reveals the hidden wisdom behind his actions. See, the damaged boat was actually saved from being stolen by a tyrant king. The boy's death prevented a future where he would have brought immense pain to his faithful parents. And that random wall he repaired, it was protecting a hidden treasure for 2 orphans. It's this incredible lesson in humility, right? It teaches us that sometimes what looks wrong or makes no sense to us is actually part of a much bigger, much more merciful plan.
And that brings us to the fourth and final test, the trial of power. We get to see this play out through the journey of a great and just ruler known as Dhul Qarnayn, which literally means the two-horned one.
So, Dhul Qarnayn was given just tremendous power, authority to travel to the ends of the earth. But here's the key. Unlike so many rulers who get corrupted by power and become tyrants, he saw his power as a responsibility. He used it to establish justice, punish corruption, and reward good people wherever he went. His greatest test came when a community begged him for protection against these destructive forces known as Gog and Magog. Now, he could have just demanded tribute or payment, but instead, he empowered them. He guided them to use their own resources to build this massive, impenetrable barrier out of iron and molten copper to secure their own future. He used his power not to dominate, but to serve.
So we have these 4 epic stories: faith, wealth, knowledge, and power. What's the thread that ties them all together? I mean, what does it all mean when you put it side by side? Well, together, they offer this incredible roadmap for life's biggest challenges. For the trial of faith, the solution is good company and trust in a higher power. For the trial of wealth, it's all about humility and gratitude. For knowledge, it's patience and accepting that we don't know everything. And for power, it's justice and righteousness. It's basically a complete toolkit for the human spirit, showing us how to stay grounded no matter what life throws at us.
You know, these stories aren't just ancient history. They're basically mirrors, reflecting the timeless struggles we all go through. They challenge us to look at our own lives and ask, where am I being tested right now? Is it in my beliefs, my bank account, my ego, my influence? And maybe more importantly, how am I choosing to face that test?